Cheers! Welcome to Movie Bitches! Retro Review episode 14. Tonight we're reviewing The Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert! Priscilla!
There's gonna be a lot of bad Australian accents tonight.
Yep. Sorry about it. Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
So, to celebrate Pride Month, we're doing some LGBT film retro reviews.
Yes!
So, we're really excited about it. First things first, Guy Pearce can get it.
Oh, 100%. I thought you were gonna talk about trywink.com.
I mean, yes, but also Guy Pearce.
Well, first things first. If you haven't seen Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, pause. Go watch it. Come back. You will thank us later.
You will absolutely thank us.
It's amazing.
It's really, really fabulous.
So Guy Pearce.
Oh my god.
Dreamboat extraordinaire.
Right?
And I love that just progressively throughout the movie, he's just wearing less clothes.
As he should be.
And more do-rags.
Oh my god.
Hey, don't go without leaving me your number, sunshine.
Already taken care of, Jeff. It's at the far end of the men's cubicle. For a good time, phone Felicia.
The headpieces in this movie.
I mean, holy shit. We're going to talk about the costumes. I can't wait.
Cannot wait.
So the movie starts with a melody,
yes.
some backstage curtains,
Yes.
and we get I've Never Been to Me, that song. Oh my god. I love that.
I've been to paradise, but I've never been to me.
I've been to paradise, but I've never been to me.
And we get Hugo Weaving doing his first performance, and it's like, I'm living for it. Like, I'm like, yes, I love this song. Yes, Hugo Weaving. And, you know, the crowd is not really having it.
No, they're like playing pool and just whatever. I mean,
Well,
it's not the most engaging performance.
No, it was
It's
one
like
of
a
those,
little weird where like he has a lot of helpers for strange moments.
Well, Guy
Was that-
Pearce comes up with
Yeah.
like a baby doll and just like giving her the doll. It was a lot of like, what is this exactly? What are you trying to tell me exactly?
A lot of strange prop choices. It was just like very specifically strange. It was like, okay, you chose that line to have a prop for. All right. And it was also a lot of like your middle school interpretive dance song and singing. You know, like
Oh, yes.
You know, and I'm brushing my teeth and I'm driving to school
and I've never been to me.
Exactly. I've been to paradise. Like, you know, whatever. Okay.
But then he gets hit in the head with like a beer can.
Yeah.
Just like, I do like that this movie like takes it there and gets real and then pulls it back.
Yeah.
And then gets real and then pulls it back.
Yep.
And every time like you feel like, oh my god, oh okay, like
Yep.
don't worry, Bernadette's here, she'll save you.
Exactly.
Everything's fine. You're in good hands. It's Bernadette.
Yep.
Why don't you just light your tampon and blow your box apart? Because it's the only bang you're ever gonna get, sweetheart.
Can I tell you a couple of casting almosts?
Sure.
So, apparently, Tim Curry offered the part of Hugo Weaving, of Mitzi,
Okay.
turned it down. He was also considered for Bernadette,
Okay.
but other people that were also considered for Bernadette, David Bowie. I mean, I feel like Terence Stamp is perfect.
Yeah, it's
absolutely,
great.
Like, I wouldn't actually change anything, but it was, like, fun to think about.
David Bowie, I feel like... I don't see Tim Curry necessarily in this.
No, I think it was just like, he did drag in Rocky Horror.
Right.
Yeah, let's get him. I think
Right.
that was probably the thought
Right.
process. Two other people that were considered for Hugo Weaving's part, Rupert Everett
Oh, sure.
and Colin Firth. Here for it.
I would have been here for it.
I mean, I think Hugo Weaving's actually perfect because he has that, you know, he's not classically attractive, handsome.
Sure.
And so his character makes more sense.
Yes.
Like, what he's dealing with throughout the film
Yes.
makes more sense.
That's true.
Where if it's like Rupert Everett, you're like, he should be playing Guy Pearce
Right.
maybe.
Right.
'Cause he's like so sexy.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not sure about this.
Oh, Guy Pearce. That snatched body.
His chiseled everything.
Everything. Full snack.
So other people that were up for Bernadette, John Cleese. No. It was a no. John Hurt, who you kind of know, but it's
Yeah.
fine.
Remind me of something he's in.
He was in Snowpiercer. He was the old guy with like the hook for a hand. That guy.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And Tony Curtis.
Oh.
Again, they were like, he did drag, right?
Right.
Back in 1959? Yeah.
Yes, master.
I mean, Tony Curtis is, like, probably bisexual. I've just put it out there. It seems like that's probably what happened.
It is all a matter of taste, isn't it?
Yes, master.
So I was like, oh, okay, like, that's all fun to think about, but I do think that Terence Stamp did just a fabulous job playing Bernadette.
Oh, yeah.
They
It's
were
really
talking about how...
resonant and, like, emotional and...
Well, and he played the part, they were like, oh, they're talking about how he got into character, and he was like, he just pretended or acted like he was the most beautiful woman, like the most regal, beautiful woman. I was like, you can tell, and that gives that character such dignity and such grace, and you're just like, oh, I'm so drawn to you, you're so fabulous.
Yes.
And so when anyone tries to, like, shit on her or whatever, you know, you're just like, oh, Bernie will take care of it. Like,
Exactly.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Don't call me Bernie.
Two's company, three's a party, Bernadette, my sweet.
And I had actually forgotten how many, like, odd fantasy flashback, like,
The beginning's a little
sequences
confusing,
were
to be
this
honest.
movie, right? Well, it cuts to Hugo Weaving in this fabulous chandelier dress.
Yes.
Just like, what? Oh, as
the cigar.
There's a whole thing. The doctor walks in.
She's just like, what's happening?
And it's very like, what's going on? What's happening? I do like that it used flashbacks / fantasy flashbacks to like inform characters without just being obvious.
Sure. It was a little confusing because I haven't seen this movie in a long time.
Right.
And I was like, I don't remember, what is this even? And then it's like, by the end, it makes sense.
But I like that.
But I agree. It's kind of like,
breadcrumbs.
I'm just gonna, yeah.
Oh, okay, great. I love it. We get Trumpet's funeral.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Every time you think it's going one direction, it subverts what you think is going to happen.
Sure.
So, like, Hugo Weaving calls up Terence Stamp to be like, hey, do you want to go on this road trip with me? How you doing? And he's like, not good. Trumpet died. And you're like, oh, fuck. And it cuts to this funeral, and everyone looking fabulous at the funeral. Just like, oh, I'm so fabulous.
Oh, God.
And you think, oh, God, this is going to be, like, really sad. And
Sure.
it's not...
No. Not sad, but like,
it's like immediately sassy.
He didn't slip. He's peroxiding his hair at home again. He asphyxiated on the fumes.
Asphyxiated. Oh, the idiot. You know, he's just like, oh. It's got that dark Australian humor where it's like, just so good. It handles it so well where like, I feel like in another country with a different movie, it just wouldn't work as well. But it just...
I love Australians.
I love Australians and I love Australian movies.
Yeah.
They are their own genre.
Yes.
Like, I feel like they don't get enough credit.
No.
For having like their own genre.
It's true.
Of
it's
film.
like French film. It's like Australian film is a thing and it's a mood and it's like...
And I love it. I love it.
That sums it up. That is the gif of Australian film.
Right? Love it.
Did you see at DragCon there was that picture of that drag queen?
Doing it was so amazing. Being the red carpet.
Okay.
Which has Hugo Weaving in it. He's the
Yeah,
cop.
exactly.
And we find out mysteriously Hugo Weaving has a gig for 4 weeks in Alice Springs, and they show it on the map, and it is in the dead fucking center of Australia, which is like a very long drive.
Yes.
And we get our first instance of Guy Pearce really being fabulous.
Oh, wait,
we see him at the opening,
because he's
just
like
sort of being bored and drag.
like-
Oh my god! But he is in that pearl. It's like a pearl fringe dress and a G-string, and I was just like, yes. Yes.
Body, oddy. Don't stop relying on the body. You work that body. You work that body, Pierce. Well, so it was like, oh, well, we just have to figure out how to get the two of us out there. And it's like, 3 of us.
3 of us. What? Why?
Why?
Why? A desert holiday.
Let's pack the drag away.
You pack the lunch and tea. I'll take the ecstasy.
Fuck off, you silly queer. I'm getting out of here. A desert holiday. Hip, 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 hooray.
Which informs a scene later. Like,
Absolutely.
it all is really tied well together.
Yes.
He's turned into a rather good little performer.
He really... Okay. Is it time already to talk about Guy Pearce's performance in this movie? Because he is a consummate performer. I mean, all of the performances are great, but I was amazed and awed at like how fat. Like I felt like he was actually the best lip sync performer.
Oh yes.
Mamma mia, here I go again. My, how can I resist you?
And like, I just was like, yes,
Drawn to
you work, bitch. Oh my god, it's so good.
It is great. Well, and he plays a character that, like, in the wrong hands could be a really unlikable person,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And he finds a way to make him vulnerable and interesting, and like you get to know him as it goes along. He's not just that like combative asshole, you know, person or whatever.
Right.
There's more going on.
Well, I like that it's like there's a spoiled brat. You know, it's like, oh, mummy, maybe this phase of mine, maybe I'll meet a
country girl. These are not Australian accents.
Not
coming
at all.
out of our mouths.
Not at all.
Really quite terrible. I apologize. We'll just play the
We'll just play.
Mummy, maybe a trip to the outback could help me get over this little phase I'm going through. And you never know, I might meet some lovely country girl.
So he buys this huge bus.
From Laws, and Laws.
Laws.
Well, I met some nice Swedish tourists called Lars, and I coaxed it out of them.
The Swedes.
Yes.
Because he's obsessed with ABBA. I mean, the connections just
are
continue.
perfect. I love it.
And they're gonna go out on their trip. They, retrofit the whole bus. We will talk about the bus. Everyone's waving like it's like an ocean liner.
Yeah.
The streamers. The woman who's running across Australia.
Bubble machine. What is it?
Which I really thought she was gonna show up at the end.
Yes.
Post credits end.
Yes.
With that weird scene where the kite lands in China.
That would have been really funny.
And if she like bloop, 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 bloop.
Good evening. Nice night for it.
There was like a fairly offensive gong, and so I'm not sure.
There were quite, yeah. It was not great.
Terence Stamp is like, why do you even want to come on this trip? Why would you want to leave Sydney and like drive to the middle of fucking nowhere? And Guy Pearce explains that like he's had a dream since he was a kid of
so great.
Walking to the top of
Mount Uluru.
Climb King's Canyon as a queen in a full-length Gautier sequin, heels, and a tiara.
Is that what it was?
Uluru is something, and I'm pretty sure it's a sacred rock, but I could be wrong.
Full drag and just, yes.
Just what we need, a cock and a frock on a rock.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's just what this country needs. A cock in a frock on a rock.
Oh, get back in your kennels, both of you.
Can we talk about the bus? I think we should talk about the bus.
I think we have to talk about Priscilla.
We have to talk about Priscilla, the
Queen of the Desert.
fourth character in the film.
The fourth lady.
The fourth lady.
I hereby christen this budget Barbie camper Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
The first aid kit is the bar.
Oh, I need this.
I want this bus.
Well, I don't need the bus, but
like,
what am I
all
going to do
I
with the
need
bus?
in my life is road tripping drag queens.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, is there road tripping drag queens? I'll be attending this film.
Yep. That's why I'm like tentatively hesitant, whatever. I'm excited
and scared
for this RuPaul show because I'm like.
Is it a TV show?
Yeah, it's a TV show.
Oh, okay.
On Netflix.
I mean,
I'll
give it a shot.
I'll give it a shot, but it could be terrible.
It's road tripping drag queens. I'm in.
Exactly.
But
it's a road tripping drag queen.
Yeah.
Just the one. I feel like it's better when it's ensemble.
Happy hour.
Mother's ruin pour moi. Long Island tea.
And a Stolly and tonic for me.
But anyway.
We get the shoe rack that's all across the top.
Oh, the tanning booth.
Well, there was a third act reveal where I was like, wait, there's a tanning booth on this bus?
His bed is the tanning booth. I love it. Oh my god, it's so stupid. It's like weird tomb of like
it's in the like cargo the luggage area. They like cut a hole.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, because I remember later when they're like outside the bus, the flap is open and that light was coming from there, and I was like, why is there a light coming from there? I was like, oh, it's his tanning booth.
Didn't realize. I mean, they did a lot of work to this bus.
Right?
And I'm like, wow, you guys did that fast and fabulously.
They each have beds.
Yeah.
A dressing table with vanity mirrors.
Oh my god. Of course. The jukebox where they play all their ABBA.
Oh, the boombox?
Yeah.
So, totally had that boombox, by the way. With the wheel and like the Cadillac retro 50s, 80s.
Love it. Can we talk some more about the first aid kit minibar?
Sure.
Because I really need this. It's like, I just love the idea that that's like in an office where it's just like, oh God, first aid.
Well, I definitely had a moment where I was like, oh, that was smart. They included a first aid kit. You know, the Outback is dangerous.
Yeah.
Oh, good, it's full of gin.
Yep.
Great.
Well, here's a little trick. Drink the gin.
I fill the bottle up with water and put it back in the fridge.
Va en vu. What about the scotch?
That's where the complimentary tea bags come in handy.
Very clever.
We haven't talked about the amazing soundtrack.
Oh my
I
God.
was obsessed with this soundtrack.
Oh, it's so
It
fabulous.
didn't leave my car for years on end.
Why should it ever?
It's so good. And it's like older songs, newer, it's like a
mixture,
wide range.
yes,
and
yes.
it's just great. It's just
Yeah.
fabulous.
It's true.
It's just
Literally,
fabulous.
that's the only way to describe it.
It's just fabulous. There's only two things I don't like about you, Felicia. Your face, so why don't you shut both of them? I love that her name is Felicia.
Yes, Felicia. Bye, Felicia.
Oh, Felicia, where the fuck are we?
So their road trip has begun. They're starting to get deeper into the outback, and they get to this small-ish town, and they decide to go in drag. Right, this is when
yes.
Hugo Weaving is in the fabulous flip-flop dress.
Oh my God, it's so good.
With matching flip-flop earrings.
But then also Guy Pearce's headpiece.
It's like
the wig.
plastic with
just
the
like-
with the pom-poms, and then she's just, his ass is just out.
Out.
And he's just wearing a corset and feathers.
Yeah. It's like, yes.
Just an exhibitionist.
Yes. This outfit is everything.
All of the outfit. I mean,
oh my God.
We can talk about it.
Let's just.
So it won the Academy
Costume
Award
sidebar.
for Best Costume
Thank
Design.
the fuck Lord.
Obviously. And it's still, I think still to this day, since then, every movie that's won after has been a period piece. Costume design.
Really?
Yeah.
That can't be true.
So,
Every movie since
96? Yeah. It's been some kind of period piece.
What happened? What won this year?
Whoa, Phantom Thread.
Which is a period piece. Well, maybe Black Panther will break that.
Maybe, that'd be great.
But also, these costumes were amazing.
Oh my gosh. I mean, well, let's just talk about it.
Okay. I mean...
Or should we talk about it as we go?
I don't know. Maybe
As we go.
We'll just bring
so
them up as they go.
the flip-flop dress.
Oh.
With the flip-flop high heels that, like,
Yes.
have thongs all the way up the calf and all of that.
Yeah, and then the purse. It's just everything.
Everything.
It's everything.
And it's all, like, very fashion amazing, but it's also, like, you could see them making it.
Yes.
Which
it's
is
like
cool. It's
well
not like,
constructed,
where'd you get
but
that?
exactly.
Really?
Like,
Oh, they check into that really weird hotel with, like, the jungle
oh my God, someone
wallpaper.
Oh, for goodness sakes, get down off that crucifix. Someone needs the wood.
And I did love that, like, Hugo Weaving already has insane drag queen eyebrows just out of drag.
Oh,
so,
sure.
like, him in drag is like, this is insane. It's, like, so good, though.
so good. They're just like, right.
It's like divine, but, like,
Yes.
he didn't do anything.
No.
It's just his eyebrows. It's craziness. They get trashed at this bar, and they wake up the next
Oh my
morning.
God, I love the drinking contest.
Oh, with her when it's, like, Mary Ravenwood and Raiders, just,
Yeah.
like...
Yeah.
No one's ever out-drunk
her, yeah.
Sally or
Right.
whatever the fuck her name was. Get trashed. They wake up the next morning and they go outside and their bus has been graffitied.
Yes.
And it says...
AIDS fuckers go home.
This movie does a really good job of, like, balancing the comedy but the reality of the situation. Yeah. And there's a nice moment where Hugo Weaving is, like, really upset about it. And he just is like, I thought I was, like...
Right.
Enough had happened to me that I was like, wasn't going to get hurt by this anymore, or
right.
whatever. And Terence Stamp is basically like, it never stops hurting, but you just learn how to deal with it more.
No matter how tough I think I'm getting, it still hurts.
It did a good job of where it's like, oh, they're accepted, or like, oh, people are really open to it. Like, everyone was having a good time with them at the bar.
Yeah, cool.
But then at the end of the night, it's like, no, someone's still an asshole.
Exactly. And then we get the most fabulous. I mean, there's too many fabulous moments, but like, defo one of the most fabulous scenes with the silver opera.
Oh my God.
And the giant shoe.
This scene doesn't make any sense, and I don't care.
Oh, there's a lot of scenes that like, they have that sort of dreamlike walkabout fantasy that like a lot of Australian movies have, where they're just like kind of scenes that are just there, and you're like, yes, doesn't really make sense, but I love it.
Exactly.
Shit. Perhaps we should have flown.
It's like, of course they have reams of silver glittering fabric that they just
Guy
brought.
Pearce came prepared.
He did. He's got the money, honey.
He's in the silver jumpsuit.
Fabulous silver jumpsuit.
The kite, whatever that thing is behind him, catching the wind as he's singing to the opera.
Oh my God.
The silver.
So
amazing. Well, this is when we get like Terence Stamp. One of them says like Jesus, what must his childhood have been if he's like this or whatever.
Oh yes.
And again, it subverts your expectations. It cuts back to like him as a young
flashback.
boy
Yep, the
and
uncle.
his creepy uncle in a bathtub. Like, hey, why don't we want to play a game and we can't tell anybody about the game, and you're like, oh God, is this making some statement about like you were molested so you became gay?
Right.
Like,
just stick your hand in and tug gently.
You're like, no, I don't need that. You know, and you're just like, oh God. And then
God.
it does that perfect black comedy Australian thing, and he pulls the plug out from him, and his willy gets stuck in the drain. And they're just like,
The best part, Mum was out playing golf and the dirty old fuck was stuck there for about 7 hours. Oh, and I thought they were small and wrinkled before they got in the water.
They can take the main road or go on the side road. He goes, well, it's going to take us 2 more days if we take the main road. Take the shortcut.
Tell me he's lazy. Tell me he's
Take the shortcut.
They're driving through the middle of the desert, and the bus breaks down. And I love that Hugo Weaving's just rubbing that Woe Man cream on the engine.
On the engine, yeah.
Like, and then he gets out, he's like, well, it's fair to say that I know even less about engines now than I did before.
Yeah. I like that Bernadette just goes on a walkabout.
Yep.
It's just, I'm just going to walk into the desert. And it's like, where are you going?
Doesn't bring any water.
No.
But she has her purse.
Yep.
Because she's a lady with her hat and sunglasses. I'm just going to take care of this shit.
Right?
And they're both like, well.
Yeah, oh my God. Well, then we have the bus painting scene.
Oh, yes.
Which is great. I love him hanging from the roof by his feet.
Guy Pearce in particular has an outfit for every occasion. So of course he has like plaid Oshkosh overalls for the inevitable scene where he needs to paint something. He prepared for that.
Of course.
And I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You gotta come prepared.
Now Guy Pearce and Michael Fassbender.
Oh my God, yes. Yes. And they're lovers. Yes. Here for it. They would also be down.
Oh.
Like both of them would be 100% down.
Now this movie where they're like lovers that like live in the woods and they like renovate a house together.
Uh-huh. There's lots of overalls with no shirts.
No.
And hard work.
And maybe hard sex scenes.
Sweating in the woods. Yeah, I want to watch that movie. There's lots of meadows where they fuck.
Yes!
Waterfalls that they fuck under.
Yes.
Until the house is built. And then, of course, they have like some fabulous woodworked house.
Oh, yeah. And then what happens? Is that just it? It's just...
Yeah, it's just like a boring, art movie where they just like fuck and then woodwork in the woods. Yes. I'm here for this movie.
Lots of woodwork.
There's multiple instances of woodworking. Is that what it's called? Is it just called woodworking? Is it some sort of like, what's that American Gothic with the right? But it's just both of them in overalls, and then it's just called
rolling paintbrushes.
And then it's just called woodworking. But they look hot.
Yes.
Did you notice that, like, it's never explained, but throughout, and then it sort of drops off, but like throughout the road trip, glitter followed by like chimey noises follow Hugo Weaving? As if there's some magical...
But it's never dressed.
It's never dressed.
No.
It's never like...
And you're like, okay, there's like...
Somewhat randomly. Like,
special
it's not
glitter.
like...
Yeah. It almost is like it's like a third of the way through the movie. Glitter! Like, it's weird. It's not... I couldn't piece together what it meant.
I guess it's just like, it's his story? I wasn't sure.
Me either. It's like, oh, and then fabulosity ensues? I don't know.
His fairy godmother is watching over him.
Inspiration, maybe? I don't know.
So Bernadette wanders.
But then she sees the people.
That couple finds her.
Tony, Adam, this is Mr. and Mrs. Spencer.
Hello.
Hello.
And they're like,
just like,
Oh, for goodness sakes, look at yourself, Mitz. How many times do I have to tell you green is not your color?
And that Aboriginal guy shows up, just like, hi, oh, hi.
Hello.
And he invites them to, like, this campfire
party that's happening.
talent show, whatever. And they're all hanging out, and everyone's playing guitars and didgeridoos, and it's, like, fabulous. And they're sort of just like, well, here we are, oh my gosh. And then the guy who found them is just like, now it's your turn to perform,
right.
Like, will you do a performance for us? And then it's like, okay, well, wait the 6 hours it takes us to all three get into drag, and then we'll be back. Oh, no, they're just in drag.
They're just in drag.
It's great.
Love it.
There was a lot of, that would have taken days. Oh, no, it's done.
Magical
drag.
Yep.
Maybe that's what the fairness
Maybe that's what the fairness is.
So we get another instance of their fabulous outfits with this afro floral.
Talk about
headpiece.
flowers on the runway. If someone had done this, I would have died. Oh.
And then Terence Stamp is wearing like a grape one.
Yeah. Well, then they all have these fabulous bell-bottom
jumpsuits where the bell bottoms are connected to their feet with
there's like a
hula hoop or whatever.
They're
so
like
they have
stepping. They're standing on like a circle that keeps it all stretched out. It's amazing.
I love it.
And then I just love that it's like, and now we're gonna do a remix with the didgeridoo, and you're like, okay.
So they're waiting around for Hugo Weaving to get back with the mechanic.
Yes.
And Terence Stamp finds something in Guy Pearce's luggage.
Oh my god, this is so much.
That's my prized possession.
Yeah.
And after she'd finished her business, I ducked into the cubicle only to find she'd left me a little gift sitting in the toilet bowl.
What is it, though?
What are you telling me? This is an ABBA turd?
I love that this is also, like, never talked about
Nope.
again. Just like, oh yes, I snuck
but
into
he
the
wears
bathroom.
it.
He's wearing it later as like a locket.
Yeah, and it was like clinking, so it was petrified, and like maybe some alcohol bait. I don't know. Disgusting.
Yeah, what was he keeping it in?
Why?
It's like organic substance, so it couldn't be
formaldehyde. I don't want to talk. It's like this is so weird.
Did it turn you off of Guy Pearce?
No. But he has to take it off before we fuck.
Great. It's not allowed in the bedroom.
No.
Or in the meadow. Or under the waterfall. Or in the woodworked bed that he's created for you. It's not allowed. So we get introduced to our last sort of big character, Bob, the mechanic.
Yeah.
And his wife, Cynthia.
Oh, boy. This was
the most dated and upsetting.
Yes.
Yes.
It was this, and then like at the end with like the kite scene was like it was like a combination of like Asian offensiveness.
Yeah, just like. But I do love they get to the town and Bernadette's pet. Oh, what a lovely dog! What's its name?
What's its name?
Herpes.
Bob and his exhibitionist wife, who's. I mean, she's...
Well, it's not really exhibitionism. I mean,
it is, right?
I guess.
I mean, she's very much a stereotype.
Of Thailand and a ping pong show.
But also,
and
like, I feel like her motivation is that she's sort of an exhibitionist, right? Like, she likes the attention.
Sure.
Sort of,
yes.
And she's been stuck in this little town.
Yes.
No, darling, please.
I made chocolate cracker.
She's wanting to... I mean, I did like that they sort of explained... They gave her more agency than... You're thinking, like, oh, I don't know if I really...
Oh, he's like a mail order...
Or
she's like a... Yeah.
Because he, like... ordered her and now he's like forcing her to be in this small town and you're kind of like and then you realize later no, she used him to like, get out of her other worse situation.
Right, but then like she didn't realize what she got into.
She thought he lived in Sydney and she was going to be like yes, but she was living in this random town or whatever. And then she takes off and like lives her own life and she's just like I'm
out of here.
I don't like you anyway. You got little ding-a-ling.
Well, so Bob is a very progressive gentleman.
Yeah.
Who convinces them to perform at their local
Because
bar.
he grew up seeing the...
Les Girls.
Oh, Les, L-E-S.
Yeah. What'd you think?
I had no idea.
Great.
Les Girls? Oh, yeah, I've seen them. Way back in Sydney when I was a young bloke. Fantastic, just terrific.
You are looking at probably the most famous lay girl ever produced.
And they'd come out, and I love that they have the pom-pom, like the pigtails that they tear off and use as pom-pom.
Amazing.
But I was like living for this, and again.
Well, it's like, okay, wig reveal.
Wig reveal.
So good.
Well, and I know everyone's kind of like, I get.
They're like,
I don't know how to feel about this.
And he's
Bob
just like,
yes!
Yeah! And then the wife, oh my god, this scene where she
breaks into the cabinet to get. Well, I did find out that actress supplied her own catsuit with front zipper.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I remember as like a little kid watching this. This was my first introduction to like the ping pong show, right? Not that I had a lot of experience with it, but this was and I remember being like, oh my god, like how is she so, somehow this isn't like horribly upsetting to me because she just loves it. Like she loves doing it.
Well,
it's her decision. You know, I don't like when he pulls her off the bar and is like,
well, sure.
You know, whatever. I mean, everyone has their motive. You know, he's trying to save her from herself in a way. You know, there's stuff going on. But she's so gleefully enjoying putting on the show with her fedora and everything that I'm like not as upset if, you know, she was being forced into doing this. We get another opera scene.
Oh, yes.
This time in
with
like
the
sort of the phoenix, you know, rising from the ashes. His outfits have to match the bus, of course.
Of course. It can't be silver anymore. It has to be pink now. Lavender, excuse me.
He's got an outfit for everything.
Yeah.
Why was this never like a music video or something?
Right?
Like,
oh, that would have been smart.
You know? Yeah. Madonna on top of a bus, you know, with the fabulousness behind her or something. I mean, right?
I want that now. Either like Lady Gaga or Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
I feel like
could like take, you know, it's been enough time.
Update it, exactly. Like just do like a little bit of
an homage.
Exactly.
Or whatever.
Exactly.
So we get to the town where they're going to fix the bus, and it's sort of a more conservative town, and they all are going out to dinner, and Guy Pearce...
Well, they said just stay in the room and watch TV.
You can either come to dinner with us, or you have to stay in the room. Of course he doesn't. He takes ecstasy, dresses up, goes to the video store.
That was weird.
Do you have the Texas Chainsaw Mascara?
Do you have the Texas Chainsaw Mascara?
She walks down to the steel mill where they're like, it's a trash can fire.
Yeah.
You know, basically, it's like, what's going on? I mean, and I love that it takes all of these straight guys so long because her arms are gigantic.
Right. We don't see a lot of women around here.
Women like you around down here or whatever. And it's
they just said women. It was just like, oh, okay.
We don't usually get women down here.
And it was dark-ish? I don't know. I was like...
I mean, I was immediately like, his arm is huge.
Yeah, right. He is...
gigantic.
Built.
The guy has a they do like a close-up on the arm.
Yeah.
This was interesting, too. Like, Guy Pearce is a younger queen in this.
Right.
Hasn't dealt with as much stuff.
Right.
Thinks he's invincible and can get away with anything and trick anybody.
I guess the fuck's out of the question then.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose the fuck's now out of the question.
They chase him. It becomes very serious.
Very serious.
They've cornered him. They've spread his legs like they're going to cut his dick off or something. And it's like, oh my God. It gets very serious.
Very.
Bob is like, what are you doing?
Yeah, stop, whatever.
He's trying to like
and then they're
calm
like,
everybody
let the
down.
faggot go. And it's like, whoa.
It was rough. And you're like, oh fuck. And then Bernadette shows up, of course.
Of course.
Stop flexing your muscles, you big pile of fudgy turd. I'm sure your mates will be much more impressed if you just go back to the pub and fuck a couple of pigs.
Knees him in the balls. Well, now you are fucked.
So good.
There. Now you're fucked.
I do love that, like, Bernadette, we haven't really talked about it, but, like, as a trans woman.
Yeah.
has had the most struggle and strife.
Well, and
you know,
yes,
and is like more equipped to, like, she's been through the shit. She's been through, you know, all of these situations before, and so she's kind of unfazed in many ways because she's had to already deal with it.
The first time we really see that they really address it, take your hormones.
She's taking her hormones, and you kind of go, oh, it's not like, oh, she's a trans woman. We're going to talk about it. It's in the forefront.
No.
This is the issue.
No.
Da, 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 da. It's just, she just is.
Yep.
You know, and it sort of comes out in little pieces throughout the story. She's just living her life.
Yeah.
Well, and so then Guy Pearce is like rightly like very upset after the events, right? And he's like crying and
because he did get like
punched in the face
and whatever
and terrorized.
Yeah.
And he's crying. It's like really good. Like he's like really crying, and you're like, oh no, Guy Pearce, oh no. And she says,
I can only fight because I've learned to. Being a man one day and a woman the next is not an easy thing to do.
Learn from this, and
Yeah.
you'll, you know, eventually you'll be equipped to deal with this more, even though they shouldn't have to because it's fucked, but
yeah,
it is the world.
Yep.
Hugo Weaving and Bernadette have sort of been bonding more and more throughout. Like,
Yes.
obviously, I would assume that Bernadette is his drag mom in some way,
Sure,
right? Like,
sure. Well, then it's revealed that he has a son.
well, that he's married.
Right. Well,
First
that
it's
came out
revealed
in the beginning.
That he's married, and I did like that it's sort of just, they have a conversation where they're like, well, so are you bi? Are you straight?
Right.
What is going on? And
I don't
he's
know
like,
what I am.
I don't know what I am. You know, he's like, I'm figuring it out or whatever. I was like, oh, that's nice.
Oh, so we're straight? No. Oh, we're not? So we're a donut punxer after all? No. Then what the hell are we? I don't fucking know.
So then they get to the hotel.
Well, and Bob and Bernadette's romance has started to
really
form. They stay up late drinking. She
Oh,
falls asleep on
and the cake. Where did that cake come from?
Do you want a piece of cake, Bob? I was like, do you have an oven on? Is there a secret oven? Are you cooking it in the tanning bed? It's like an easy bake oven. You just leave it down there all day, and eventually it's baked. I have questions.
I had real questions. It was frosted.
They get to this casino in the middle of nowhere, and we meet Hugo Weaving's wife.
Yes.
Who's rad.
Yeah, rad.
Like, I love her.
Oh, love her.
Oh my God, husband, it's so good to see you.
She seems like a fabulous, you know.
Well, and it turns out that I guess she's a lesbian or bisexual as well. We're not sure.
I liked this too. So at one point, the son is talking to, I think, Guy Pearce about it.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, you know, do you want your parents to get back together? Or how do you feel about this?
She used to have a girlfriend, but she got over her. Do you want to come play in my room? I've got Lego.
And I just like that they're both sort of fluid and finding their sexuality, and that's maybe what drew them together in the first place, you know.
I mean, they obviously seem like best friends.
Also,
Like,
yes.
exactly.
Like, she's just fabulous.
Yes, yeah.
Also, did I mention she's fabulous? Like, she's just great.
Yes.
From the get.
Yes.
She's just like, yes! Hi, oh my
And
God!
they're like kicking, and you're just like, this is fun.
Shelley Winters?
Of course she invited them to do a drag show at this casino.
We're there. We're ready to talk about the final number. Oh my God. The big drag montage finale. That's everything.
It's like literally everything. I mean, it's not a real drag performance, so I can't say that it's the most amazing drag performance I've ever seen.
Well, I mean, it is like a total fantasy.
It's like the magic of film, exactly. It's like,
yeah, exactly.
you know, it's like no one's doing this live.
No. It would take like 18 hours to like, okay, I did the makeup and the costume. Okay, now I have to take all this off and redo it to completely different
look.
Completely different makeup.
Yeah. And costume.
Oh, then another look.
Yeah.
And then another look.
I mean, if someone actually was able to do it, it's impossible.
I mean, we just have to have like different people.
Sure. I
but
mean,
it starts and they're playing, finally it happened to me right in front of my face. Oh, it's so good. And we get Bernadette in this like lion's mane, just, I don't even know, just like so good.
And like kind of
pulling a Gene Hackman at the end of Birdcage.
A little bit.
Just like,
Yeah, I'm not really into this, but
No.
like I'm gonna do it anyway.
Cool, I'll get back to it. I'll get back to it.
December, and I'm just kind of in the background and whatever.
And they all just have these fabulous outfits, and then I love that like the shoe is a
Piece.
slide.
Yes.
That also is a time jump.
Right?
It's like every time they're like, yes, we're in these fabulous outfits, okay, and we slide down, and now we're in different fabulous outfits, and we're all dressed like emus, and I'm like, yeah.
Oh my god.
Yes.
The emu headpieces.
It's just everything.
I was living.
So good.
Yes, you earned that Academy Award.
Hello.
Hello. It was an emu headdress.
I do love too that so they're all emus and they go back and then Guy Pearce falls.
Oh, yeah.
Woo!
It's like
and
grabbed and
gets like pulled away
Yeah.
and then out comes Hugo Weaving.
And like this like lizard dinosaur thing.
Dragon, bird, an on fire Dilophosaurus. Like it's,
exactly.
Because well at first he's just like, and this is
And
when
then
he
it's
has his best lip sync moment. His face
Oh
is
my God.
all of it, and then he does the
Yeah.
and then becomes a Dilophosaurus, and then they all do the
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, it's so good. And then
well, and so then we slide time jump
Yep.
to Marie Antoinette.
Twinette-ish French pushing up. I just was waiting for them to like push a carriage or something. And,
Well,
like,
they
France-
have two of them have like the hoods,
Yes.
like as
Yes.
and then I think Hugo Weaving is using his as wings.
Yes, because then it makes the Sydney Opera House, and you're just like, this is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. Gagging on the eleganza. It's just.
And meanwhile, the whole time they cut to the crowd,
I was
and
just
they're
like-
just like, I guess, what is this? And I'm just like, yes, yes, yes. It's so good.
So good.
Well, and for a minute, I remember when I first watched this, I was like, oh, this is them showing the passage of time. They've been doing this for 4 weeks.
Right. Nope.
Oh.
Exactly. You think.
In fact, no.
You think it's like, oh yeah, they're doing the 2-week run, and it's like now they're doing this out. Nope.
Yeah.
This is the show.
It's disguised as a montage, but it is, in fact, not a montage of time.
It's just one song.
It's been established that the fabulous mom told Hugo Weaving that his son is
right.
asleep in the room. He's not going to see you in drag because Hugo Weaving's having a hard time, like, being his gay, open drag
Yes.
queen self to his son.
Which this was a really sweet plot line too, where
The
it's like
son seems rad.
because
Because
the mom
is
rad.
so fucking
yeah,
rad.
it's like she's raised this kid right. He's just like, no, it's cool. Yeah, you're a drag queen. I get it. Will you do ABBA?
I think you're overreacting.
Really?
Yes, you're just being a drama queen. You're going to have to drop all that shit if you're going to be a good father.
Oh, we were talking about how Bob brought Bernadette flowers.
Of course he did, because he's
a gentleman.
That's a 10-minute curtain call. Good luck.
10 minutes till curtain call, 10 minutes, and they, like, don't have their makeup on barely at all. Like,
Right.
Bernadette
I was
has
like-
an eyebrow on,
Yeah.
and I'm like, well, I feel like you're in trouble.
12 hours till curtain call.
For the 5 separate looks that you have to now do. Insanity.
You know what it is? It's that
Magic
whoa
fairy
man
tale.
makeup.
It's that whoa man makeup. The mom obviously is fabulous. We've talked about how fabulous she is. But I thought it was really interesting in a movie. You don't see this often where a mother is like, I need a break.
Oh yeah, I need a fucking vacation. I've
need
been
a
doing this for 8 years on my own.
By myself. I
Yeah.
need a fucking vacation. And that doesn't mean I love my son any less.
No.
But I need to do me and like figure out what's going on with me.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's so progressive and
Right.
interesting.
And mature and like, I
awesome.
loved it.
I've kept my end of the bargain. Now it's your turn. Not forever, maybe just for a couple of months.
Yeah, why now?
Because I haven't had a holiday in 8 years.
Oh, they go to the picnic,
They go
and they
to
go to Uluru or whatever,
Yeah,
on
they
the
go
top
to
of the
the-
rock,
they
and
go
the
to the-
frock and the cock.
They just all go out to have a picnic, and they play charades, and the
God, this is
kid
so
does
cute.
Lindy
Oh
Chamberlain,
my God.
and I was dying. The baby.
Yeah.
The dingoes ate my baby.
That was appalling, Benji. Who taught you that?
Mum did.
Lies, all lies.
Well, and if you're interested in the dingo ate my baby's story, if we can transition to that not being offensive, there's a movie with Meryl Streep where she plays Lindy Chamberlain called Cry in the Dark, and Sam Neill is her husband.
Oh.
Because it's Australian.
Sure.
I love that this didn't last very long, but Hugo Weaving is like trying to butcher.
Oh yeah,
And,
he's like in this
dressed-
outfit,
he,
and they all make fun of him.
He's dressed like Jack Hanna, like the safari guy that brings like animals onto
Or, like Crocodile Dundee. It's like, what's going on here?
She's like, I
love that they all just make fun of him
It's just
though.
like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Would you do ABBA for me?
Sure.
And they have a nice conversation by the lake where he's just like, do you, Dad? Like, why?
Yeah.
Like, it's lovely.
Will you have a boyfriend when we get back to Sydney?
Maybe.
That's good.
So sweet and amazing.
Yeah.
Love it.
And then they, in their frocks and their cocks, hike up the rock to the top and have their moment of like, yes, we did it. You get to see Guy Pearce's butt.
Yeah. This inspired me. I was like, you know what? I want to do this at the Grand Canyon. Oh, look at me at the Grand Canyon in this dress.
Well, I do love that they're all in like, Doc Marten boots,
Yes,
to hike up in their frocks.
Yes.
It's like, oh yeah, so fabulous.
Love it.
This is another movie, once again, where I don't want it to end, right?
Absolutely.
Just like, no, more, give me more. Bob gets a job at the casino, apparently, because he's wearing like the shirt or whatever.
Yes.
Bernadette decides she's going to stay and give it a try and see what happens and take over for the wife.
While she's
like,
on
for
her
booking.
vacation.
Well, she says, fuck you guys, I'm going to go take a nap.
Love it.
Love it. And Hugo Weaving's going to take the son back to Sydney for a while. And we get our first ABBA lip sync because there's been stops and starts and references and an ABBA turn and all of these things, but we haven't got an actual ABBA lip sync. And Guy Pearce is just shirtless.
Yep.
In leggings and a do-rag. And maybe a fanny pack? There was some fanny packs.
I loved this.
Oh yeah, he's picking up the kid like, come on, let's go, we're gonna get on the bus. I hope you know how to drive because
Right, oh my god, you're right.
You're gonna take Bernadette's shift.
Oh my god.
And they get on the bus and they start lip syncing to Mamma Mia and it's everything.
Well, then they're back in Sydney.
Well, yeah, so we do get an actual time jump this time.
Yes.
And they're back in the same bar with grand applause, lip syncing as ABBA to Mamma Mia, and it's just fabulous.
Yes, I've been broken hearted. Blue since the day
Blue?
parted.
Blue?
Yeah.
I think it's just ooh.
No, it's blue since the day we parted.
Oh, because they're sad about it.
Yeah.
I always sing, ooh, since the day we started.
Parted. Well,
No, because maybe that's a different...
Maybe.
That's a different part of the song. Because ooh, since the day we started. I'm blue since the day we parted.
I don't know if that's true.
The sun is helping the guy with the spotlight. Like he's just like, yay, Dad, yeah. And they're all just like having the best fucking time. And I'm like, can we get like 3 more ABBA lip syncs though? Like I want more please.
The whole album.
And then he snatches his own wig.
Yes.
For reasons that escape me, and it freeze frames on his like crazy face. Like
I love this phase. It's so perfect.
And then Vanessa Williams, Save the Best for Last, starts playing, and I watched the entire credit sequence.
Yeah. Absolutely, because
with a drag queen that I'm assuming or inferring is the drag queen that the Mitzi is based on, that Hugo Weaving is based on. Maybe that's not true. Maybe it's just an Australian drag queen.
Yeah, I didn't know who this was.
It wasn't like one of the...
I was like, was that Guy Pearce? No, it's not.
It's not.
Oh, but it's not.
It wasn't one of the actors.
No.
It was definitely just like a drag queen,
Yeah.
but I'm not...
I mean, it was fabulous. Well, cheers to this fabulous movie.
It's really fabulous.
Yeah,
I love
if you didn't heed our warning and you watched this without watching it, that's your loss, but you should go watch it now.
Yeah, that's on you. But it's very good.
Yeah.
And like I would say for the most part holds up. There's
the only thing that doesn't really hold up is the racial stuff.
Is the wife, yeah. They do sing a song on the bus about
like 100 trannies on the wall kind of thing, and it's like
it's like, at the time that wasn't
sure
as offensive.
I mean, RuPaul does have a song that's still on Spotify called Tranny Chasers Up in Here. So,
the times they are changing.
Yep.
But for the most part, it holds up.
Yes.
Loved it. Guy Pearce can get it.
Oh my God, can he get it?
Cheers to this movie.
Yep.
To Australian film.
Yep. To drag queens.
Oh, if you want to watch another fabulous Australian movie with Sam Neill and Judy Davis, My Brilliant Career. So good.
Or also Muriel's Wedding.
Muriel's Wedding. She's like this independent woman who wants to be a writer, but she lives in the middle of fucking nowhere and like lives her life. And you're like, yes! And then Sam Neill's there too. And you're like, yes! It's really good. There's lots of good Australian
Now I just
movies.
want to go to Australia.
It was great. I loved it.
That's everyone says, and I like really want to go.
I'll go with you.
I want to go for Australian Pride, like Sydney Pride, and then also take like a month to go.
I've heard that it's insane. So yeah, cheers to all of that and to Guy Pearce.
Yep.
And his hotness.
Yes.
Yay!
This fabulous movie.
I get my loving in the evening time when I